welcome to this week's edition of Food for Thought, where we talk to small business owners and entrepreneurs on strategies and best practices. Although small businesses are often at a disadvantage when competing with bigger companies, they can always have one advantage. They can always be smarter than the competition. So let's get right to it. This week, our subject is knowledge versus wisdom. The search for knowledge. It's always been ongoing throughout history. We judge any civilization on how much knowledge it obtains. From the days of clay cuneiform tablets dating back 4,000 years to today's Kindle, we seek to accumulate more knowledge with the belief that the more we know, the better we become. Is that true? Well, let's look at it. During the Stone Age, mankind invented the club and then the spear to kill animals for food. However, it wasn't long before this knowledge was used on people. In Stone Age society, up to 20% of the population died violently. Through the Bronze Age and the Iron Age, the more we learned about smelting and forging, the more lethal our weapons became. During the Middle Ages, our knowledge led us to the invention of the longbow, which only allowed us to kill at a distance. Once we found the knowledge to create gunpowder, well, then things really started to take off. And the knowledge of the modern era allowed us to harness the power of the atom. And what was the first thing we did with that? The knowledge we have at our fingertips was inconceivable just a generation ago. However, the question we have to answer is, now that we have all this knowledge, do we have the wisdom to wield it properly? So, what is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Well, knowledge is the accumulation of facts, including dates, formulas, history, philosophy, or even hands-on skills associated with the arts or the trades. Wisdom involves the application of perspective, discernment, and sound judgment. While knowledge can be acquired through education or experience, wisdom is derived from experience and reflection. We often have a surface level of knowledge about a topic, but really profound comprehension and perspective. One of the most important differences between the two is the ability to put knowledge into context. Knowledge by itself usually can only be applied to limited situations or subjects. Wisdom allows us to apply that knowledge to a variety of situations. Wisdom also allows us to consider the long-term consequences of our decisions. According to an article by Marie Miguel of the University of Chicago, there are 5 practical ways to develop wisdom. 1. Be open to new experiences, which means leaving your comfort zone behind. 2. Show compassion and empathy. Rather than a me-first attitude, put yourself in someone else's shoes to see their point of view. This will make you more open-minded and conscientious when making decisions. 3. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Messing up and failures are the growth path. Weathering these situations improves your decision-making and problem-solving skills. Know when to ask for help is the 4th part of the equation. I believe that wisdom starts with admitting you don't know something. And finally, number 5, set a good example. Be a mentor. As the author states, there will be many people who will be in the same shoes as you. And by showing them how they too can work on developing wisdom, it simply reinforces what you've learned over time. A wise person has a lot to share and give back to others, and there's no better way than leading by example. David Starr Jordan, founding president of Stanford University, took it one step further when he wrote, "Wisdom is knowing what to do next. Virtue is doing it." Well, that's it for this week's Food for Thought. I hope you got something out of that. And if you have any questions about anything that was discussed here and you'd like to chat about it, reach out to me at rich@speakingofsuccess.us. I'd love to have a conversation. Take care, and we'll talk again next week. Thanks.